The value of daily projects. Hello everyone, Randy Carney here again with another session of Walking with Randy, where we talk about writing, speaking, consulting, marketing, and marriage. Today we're talking about marriage again. The last few posts we've been talking about taking steps toward meeting the needs on step 3, which Step 3 has to do with taking turns of focusing on each other's needs. So we talked yesterday about why take turns and why taking turns makes sense. Today we're talking about the value of daily projects. These daily projects can be actions or they can be plans. So that's another good thing to think of in that regard. Actually, if nothing else, you can just read over your spouse's list that he or she gave you every day. But we're talking about the value of daily projects. So these projects can be actions or they can be plans. Now, if they are actions, then obviously these are short-term things that you'll be dealing with. But it may be that on some of your projects, perhaps you may decide to take your husband or wife on a trip, and it will not be this day. Well, then obviously it's going to be at some time in the future. It's going to take some planning to do that. So those could be some plans that you would do during the day that would go toward focusing on meeting each other's needs. Then, secondly, you will realize that there will be a payoff for working on things you are less interested in. As you come up with some of these daily plans, in the past, you have not done some of these things because they weren't as interesting to you. They did not meet your needs, but they do meet the needs of your husband or wife. So you want to come up with some daily projects that will help you to be focusing upon your spouse's need. Now, obviously, in the past, you did not do some of these things because if you had, then your husband or wife's needs would have been met in that area, and it would not have been as surprising to you as it might have been whenever you got the list. Usually, whenever we come up with these lists, we do find things that will be something that we can work on that would be beneficial to our spouse. And so having a daily project is no different in that regard. So in the past, you may not have met those needs as well. But now, just even the attempt will be something that your husband or wife will probably be grateful for. And some of the payoff may be you may even find something new for you to be interested in. There was George and Jenny. George decided that he was going to watch some romantic movies with his wife. He wasn't really interested in that prospect at the beginning of it, but after a while he found out he really did like some of those movies too, even though maybe he did not want to admit it aloud. So you may find some new interest whenever you do this. However, if you find that it was very important to your spouse to have recreational companionship, and you had not engaged in certain types of recreation in the past, you may even find a recreational activity that you had not done in the past that you enjoy now. Well, then the value of doing daily projects is that this gives you an action plan. Someone said, "No one plans to fail. There are only those who fail to plan." Usually those quotes are put forth in a business context or in some other kind of working context, but we can apply it to our marriages too. So we can be planning on things that will help us to focus on meeting our spouse's needs. It may have been that previously we have had no plan. Now you have a basis for making a plan. And it may be that you will even write down some of these plans, because some of your long-term goals will not be done today. So you may write them down on a calendar, or you may write them down as ideas for future projects for yourself, or there will be a basis for having a plan. And that is very motivating and very helpful, whereas in the past you may have just been floundering around a little bit. Not in every case, but in certain areas of your marriage. Well, so we see the value of these daily projects. They can be actions or they can be plans, and there will be payoffs for working on these things, and then it helps us to know that we know how to come up with a plan, which maybe we had not done much in the past. Well, I hope this has been helpful to you. This was another session of Walking with Randy. If you'd like more tips like these, go to randycarney.com and look up at the top of the page, about the third row down, you'll see the word marriage. You can click on that, and that will take you to all the posts that have been published in relation to marriage. There are also some books available on Amazon.com. Just go there and search for my name, Randy Carney, and you will find a book on how to write a book in 28 days or less, and then you will find some books on marriage too. One of them I like is From Mountains to Molehills, Overcoming and Celebrating Your Differences in Marriage. Well, until next time, for Walking with Randy, I'm Randy Carney, wishing you the best in your marriage.